In July 2001, the people of Kerala, India, looked up at the sky. Something bizarre was happening. The rain wasn't clear. It was red. Blood red. Imagine standing outside as crimson water poured down. Clothes stained instantly. White walls turned pink. Buckets filled with liquid that looked like diluted blood. Panic spread fast. Was this a sign of the apocalypse? Was it a curse? Or something from outer space? The rain wasn't a one-time event. It kept falling for weeks. From late July through September 2001. Sometimes heavy, sometimes light, but always the same eerie red. Farmers were terrified. Drinking water turned strange colors. Entire villages whispered about omens. Some thought it was divine punishment. Others feared chemical warfare. Memories of India's conflicts weren't far away, but scientists rushed in. They needed answers. Early reports described blood falling from the sky. Local officials sent samples to labs. The first theory: dust. Red desert dust blown from distant lands, perhaps from the Sahara or even Arabia. But locals weren't convinced. They said the rain looked too thick, too saturated. It didn't wash off easily. Suspicion deepened. Could it be pollution? India's rapid industrialization was changing landscapes. Factories dumped waste into rivers. Was the sky also poisoned? Newspapers fueled the drama. Headlines screamed about blood rain. Journalists hinted at alien origins. Talk shows debated endlessly. The mystery captured the nation, and soon the world. Kerala turned into a global curiosity. Scientists from multiple countries flew in. They collected jars of the strange liquid. Under microscopes, something unexpected appeared. The red wasn't from dust. It came from tiny particles, microscopic cells. It's red oval-shaped, almost like spores. This discovery shocked everyone. Were these living organisms, or fragments of something extraterrestrial? Theories multiplied overnight. One camp said algae. Algae spores could explain the pigment. Blown into the air, then trapped in raindrops. Another camp said meteorites. A comet could have exploded in the atmosphere, scattering alien cells across Kerala. This theory was wilder, but strangely popular. Scientists analyzed the cells further. They lacked DNA, or at least no DNA was detected. That's where things got controversial. No. DNA meant they weren't normal life. Some researchers hinted they could be alien, maybe seeds from another world, maybe panspermia in action. The idea that life spreads across the universe. Others pushed back hard. They said the DNA tests weren't reliable, that later experiments did find genetic material. But by then, the alien angle had gone viral. Kerala was at the center of a sci-fi debate. Newspapers in Europe picked up the story. American TV shows covered it too. Everyone loved the phrase, blood rain. It sounded biblical. It sounded terrifying and unforgettable. Meanwhile, locals were divided. Some laughed it off as weird weather. Others were genuinely scared. Religious leaders weighed in. Some called it a divine warning. Others said it was nonsense. Children skipped school to watch the skies. Farmers prayed their crops wouldn't die. Scientists kept testing jars of red rain. But the mystery only grew deeper. No explanation satisfied everyone. The stage was set for a storm of theories. The red rain baffled experts. But scientists don't give up easily, so they formed competing camps, each determined to prove their theory. The first theory: desert dust. The idea was simple. Strong winds lifted red dust, then carried it thousands of kilometers. When monsoon clouds formed, dust mixed with raindrops, that would explain the color. Sahara dust sometimes tints skies. It had happened before in Europe, so why not in India? But locals argued back. They said, this isn't dust. It stains everything too deeply. Dust washes off, but this stuck like dye. And under the microscope, scientists didn't see grains of sand. They saw cells, tiny, round, red cells. That led to the algae theory, maybe spores from local forests. Airless. Lush vegetation is famous. Algae spores could easily enter clouds and fall with rain. This theory gained traction, especially among Indian botanists. But then came the curveball. Some tests found no DNA. Without DNA, they weren't alive. At least not in a way we know. It's fueled something wilder: the alien theory. A group of Indian researchers claimed the cells could be extraterrestrial. They argued panspermia, the belief life spreads via comets. What if a comet exploded near Earth, scattering red spores into Kerala? The idea was bold. The media loved it. Alien blood rain in India. Headlines sold papers instantly. TV debates raged late into the night. Scientists rolled their eyes, but secretly they were curious too. What if another theory took shape? Meteorite dust, a rock from space breaking apart, its fragments tinting the rain red. It sounded more reasonable, but the cell shapes were suspicious. Rocks don't look like cells. They look like well rocks. The samples clearly weren't mineral. They had organic structure, and they absorbed water. That made meteor dust unlikely. Another angle emerged. Volcanoes, maybe volcanic dust from distant eruptions, carried across the atmosphere. Volcanic ash can color skies red. But again, microscopes betrayed the idea. These weren't ash particles. They were biological. Some scientists doubled down. They said algae for sure. Species called Trentoplia, known for its redoring spores. The spores fit the description. Kerala had plenty of Trentoplia around. This explanation felt solid, at least too many researchers. But the alien crowd pushed back. They pointed to the DNA tests. No DNA means not from Earth. Critics responded harshly. They said the DNA tests were flawed, that labs lacked proper equipment. Later studies confirmed DNA presence, which leaned toward algae after all. Still, the alien idea wouldn't die because it sounded cooler, and mysteries sell better than spores. The public devoured both sides. Religious groups chimed in again. Some said it was God's message, a cosmic warning. Others said nonsense, pure science. But villagers remained uneasy. They saw blood rain with their own eyes. They didn't need lab debates. They needed peace of mind. And that peace was hard to find. The red rain finally stopped. But the questions never did. Villagers in Kerala kept talking. Some swore it was divine. Others whispered about aliens. Scientists kept publishing studies. Each one tried to settle the case. 2006, an official report came. It said algae spores caused the rain. The culprit was Trentoplia, common in Kerala's trees and rocks.
Oh.
Its spores matched the samples. That seemed like the final word, but not everyone agreed. A fringe group pushed panspermia again. They claimed spores were alien passengers, hitchhiking on a comet, delivered right into monsoon clouds. They pointed to unusual tests. The spores survived extreme heat. Some said they even glowed faintly. Strange traits fueled the alien story. But mainstream science stayed firm. It's algae, they repeated. Yet the public loved the mystery. Media refused to let go. Blood rain sounded too good. Every few years, new articles appeared, rehashing the strange event, sometimes exaggerating details. Kerala bathed in alien blood. Cosmic rain falls from heavens. Sensational headlines kept the story alive, and soon tourism followed. Curious travelers visited Kerala, hoping to see red rain themselves, but they were usually disappointed. The rain had long stopped. Only stories remained. Still, the legend was irresistible. Even local guides told tales, mixing facts with folklore that made the rain unforgettable. Scientists didn't quit either. They stored samples for years, testing with better equipment. DNA tests improved over time. Results confirmed life on Earth. The spores had normal DNA, just like expected algae, that closed the case for most experts. Yet the alien theory refused to die. Why? Because people like wonder. A rain of algae is dull. A rain of alien cells is thrilling. Mystery always beats certainty. So the story spread online. Blogs loved it. Forums debated endlessly. It's proof of aliens, wrote one user. No, it's biology, wrote another. Reddit threads ran for years. YouTube videos racked up views. Documentaries teased cosmic origins. Kerala's blood rain became internet legend. Even scientists grew amused. Some admitted enjoying the hype. At least it got people curious about science. Still, locals were split. Some dismissed it as algae. Others still whispered of omens, especially older generations. They remembered the fear, waking up to red puddles, seeing their laundry stained crimson, wondering if apocalypse had begun. That memory didn't fade easily. Kerala officials tried to reassure. They issued scientific statements. They educated schools with facts. But the supernatural stories stayed. You can't erase wonder with paperwork, so the rain lives on as legend. A half-solved mystery. Half science, half story. Some even tied it to other anomalies, like colored rains in Europe, red snows in the Arctic. They argued the Earth still hides surprises. And maybe space does too. Today, Kerala embraces the legend. Some call it a natural wonder, others still call it a cosmic gift. The truth sits somewhere between. Science says algae, but mystery says aliens. And both have their fans. The sky bled once, and history never forgot.
That's it for today's Forgotten Tale. If this story made you raise an eyebrow don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that dusty little bell so you never miss another echo from the past. Drop it in the comments. We're always listening for new echoes. Got a weird bit of history you think we should cover? Until next time, keep your curiosity loud and your history weird.